Hello everyone, I am Professor Nayanasne, Department of Information Technology, Parvatibai Genbai Mose College of Engineering, Vagoli, Pune. So we'll have a short session of designing the service-oriented software architecture. This is a small topic under your Unit 6. So let's understand what is service-oriented software architecture. So the service-oriented architecture, or we can usually say it SOA, is an architectural approach in which the application make use of service which is available on the network. So in this architecture, the service are provided to the form applications through the communication call over the internet. If you take the example of service oriented architecture, you are using a mobile phone. So the Airtel, the card which you are using in mobile phone, that is one of your service oriented architectures example. So your Airtel, Vodafone, Idea, these different cards are nothing but your service providers, and you are the persons who are called as service users, or we can say service providers and service users. So these are the two main roles under the software architecture, service oriented software architecture, in which we play there are two persons. One is service provider and second one is service consumer, or we can say service user. So all the end user who use the service over the network are called as a service user or service consumers. So SOA allows user to combine a large numbers of facility from the existing service to form of application. Now there are numbers of users who use that particular service over the network. Now there are the large numbers of users of the Airtel, there are large numbers of users of the Idea SIM card, and we can also say the broadband also. Broadband is again another example of service oriented architecture, in which the peoples are using the net connections at their home in a large number with a particular service provider. There may be a local service provider, there may be a global service provider. Now if you take BSNL, so BSNL is a global service provider who provides almost over all the India. And if you go for the local service provider, there are many available in your town that gives you the service of the network. So that are the examples of service oriented software architectures. So the SOA encompasses a set of design principles that the structure system development and provide the means of integrating the components into the cohesive and the decentralized system. So it has certain design principles which will be used for structuring the SOA. Again, they have the coherent and the decentralized system. Why? Because everything is on the geographical, every person, every end user is geographically separated. So they all need to structure well for providing the service. They all need the coherence. They all need the systematic system or structural system to design such a service oriented architecture which will provide the service to the geographically distributed end users, or we can say the consumers. SOA based computing package functionality into a set of interoperable service which can be integrated into different software systems which are belonging to the separate business domain also. So they just don't only provide to the service to the end users, but also for the businesses which are separated, or which are having a different domains. So they integrate all different system softwares which are belonging to the business domain. So let's see first the diagram. You will easily understand the diagram. As I have already discussed, there are two major roles in the service oriented architecture. The first one is the service provider. The service provider is a maintainer of a service and the organization that makes available one or more service to the other users. So to advertise the service, the provider can publish them in a registry together with the service contract that specify the nature of the service, how it should be used, the requirement of that particular service, the fees and the charges. Now suppose if you take the example of GoDaddy. So GoDaddy is again one service provider who will provide the hosting service or the hosting data to all of the users. So what they need to do, they need to publish them in the directory, or we can say the registry. Then they will sign a contract. We usually sign the contract with the GoDaddy for 1 year, 3 year, 4 year for service providing. Then they will tell us how to use the service, what are the basic rules for using that service, what are the requirements for using that particular service, and what are the fees and charges that we pay annually to the GoDaddy. Or you can, if you take the example of Airtel, then you pay either postpaid or either prepaid. So that are the fees and charges for that particular service providers. Again, the next role is the service consumer. So the consumer is nothing but the end user who is actually using that particular service, who is paying for that service, who pays fees for that service. So service consumer is the end user who will actually use the service from that particular registry, or we can say the metadata where the service is located. So if you see the service oriented architecture, it is divided into the 4 parts. We can say the 4 sections is included. The first one is the application front end, from which the user can access the service. The second is service itself, means which service they will access. The service itself is the component. The next one is service repository, where the service is stored. And last one is the service bus. So again, the service is having the contract base, the implementation and the interface. So what contract the service has made, how much contracts we are making for using that particular service. So usually if you recharge for your Airtel SIM card, it is usually for 199 days, 524 days, if we can say 84 days. So that is a contract for using that particular service. That is a contract for using your incoming calls, outgoing calls, your net of that particular service provider or that particular SIM. So that is your contract you are making with the service provider. Then implementation at that particular service. So how the service is implemented, that is again the part of service. And the interfaces, so what interface it is required. So if you are using that incoming outgoing 4 of the data, which is of 1500 cost, so that will not provide you the net. Why? Because there is no interface which will connect the net to the particular mobile. So there is the interface which will be communicating for using that service. So that interface is again included in that service part. And then business logic and data. So for that service we have certain business logic executing and the data. So this is under the service. So we'll see the advantages of SOA. So the first advantage of that SOA is service reusability. The next one is easy maintenance. So we can easily maintenance as the user is paying to the service provider. So service provider is a one person who maintain the service. Then platform independent ad, it can be used in any Android devices. If you talk about like example of your SIM card of the Airtel, so Airtel SIM card can be put in any portable device. Okay, any device which is at the Android and which has some basic rules and some basic requirements which is fulfilled by the SOA. So it is a platform independent. So SOA allows making a complex applications by combining service picked from the different sources and independent of the platform. Then availability, so it is available on the request. When you are requesting, when you are requesting to the particular Airtel service provider to provide the service, when you are paying it, so it is easily available. Reliability, so there is more reliable because it is easy to debug a small service rather than the huge code. And the scalability, that means it run on different servers with the different devices. Large numbers of people are concerned with it and in a huge environment. So it increases scalability. As you can say, you see always the ad on the TV that the #1 network is the Airtel. So they are scaling themselves in a lot. So that is the scalability. Anything, the service oriented architecture can scale a lot, depend on the numbers of requests the user are having it. So this is the basic diagram which show the 2 roles, that is service provider and service consumer. So service consumer will request the service provider for a particular service, and service provider, if the service consumer pays, if the service consumer have gone through the particular rules, if he has the responsibility and requirements fulfilled for using that particular service, then service provider will respond with the service to the service consumer. So this was a small topic under your unit 6, that is your software oriented architecture. I hope this point has been easily understood to all of you. If you have any query, you can comment in comment box. Thank you.